So here's a stat that might surprise you. In 2025, over 50,000 people had registered for Polaris. And just 330 got selected. That's less than 1%. For every one person who got in, 99 could not make it. Top global universities hover around 5%. Ours is much stricter. And that's exactly why I thought I'd help you maximize your chances this year. I'm Rohan Saneja and I head the corporate and institutional affairs at Polaris, which basically means I talk to companies every single day. VCs, founders, hiring managers, and CTOs. When companies hire fresh computer science graduates, here's what they're exactly telling me. Students don't know what the latest tech is. They don't have any practical experience, can't push a live code. And if you train them for 6 to 8 months before they start adding any value, that's the reality. Even graduates from decent colleges aren't job ready on day one. You know why? Every year, about 15 lakh students take engineering entrance exam in India. Maybe 10% get into decent colleges. What about the rest? They end up in institutions where the curriculum hasn't been updated since 2010. The faculty who has never written a line of production code. Practical learning there means probably copying programs from a textbook in a lab. And even students who get into good colleges, they graduate with degrees but without skills. That's the problem Polaris was built to solve. So what is Polaris? Polaris is a 4-year residential computer science program in the heart of Bangalore. Our campus, which is 1.5 lakh square feet in Whitefield, one of the biggest IT hubs in the country. Medhavi Skills University, in partnership with PST, runs a 4-year integrated BTech program in computer science, AI, and ML, building the next generation of techies. But the way we teach is fundamentally different. We believe in a few core principles. First, potential over rank. Your career shouldn't be decided by one exam you took at the age of 17. We don't care about your JEE rank. We care about how you think, how you learn, and how well you adapt. Second, hands-on over theory. Programming is a skill. Like any skill, it requires thousands of intentional practice. You do 5,000 hours plus of live coding over 4 years, not watching lectures, actually writing code. Third, industry over academia. Your mentors aren't just professors. They're CTOs, founders, engineers, from the likes of Uber, Google, Swiggy, Flipkart, and even Amazon. These are people who have built products which are used by millions today. And because we're in Bangalore, the tech capital of India, you're not learning in isolation. You're in the ecosystem. And that's why we take a lot of pride in our outcomes. So whether it's Gopi, who got selected for GSOC, or Dipanshi, who landed an international internship at the age of 18, or Vishwendra, who is self-sponsoring their fees through freelancing projects. Now, how do you get into Polaris? The Polaris admission test. Most admission tests in India are designed to test how well you can memorize. JEE test, physics derivations. Boards would test your NCERT paragraph. Nobody's actually checking if you can think. The Polaris admission test is different. We don't test you on physics. We don't test you on your chemistry either. We're not making you memorize organic reactions or calculate projectile motion. We will test you on your logic and real world reasoning, mathematical thinking, Boolean syntax, and pattern recognition. Things that actually matter when you're building products, writing code, or solving problems that don't even have a textbook answer. So it's an MCQ based online test. You can sign up on our website, pick your slot, and take the test. Now here's what's new for 2026 admissions. This year, we're introducing Coding Pat. In addition to logic and reasoning, we now have a separate coding section. This isn't some vague coding aptitude assessment. This is actual code. You get problems. Each problem has multiple test cases. Each test case carries marks. You write code, run it against test cases, and get scored based on how many you pass. We also have a debugging section where you look at code snippets and identify what's broken. This tests whether you can read code, understand logic flow, and spot the errors. Now, what if you've never coded before? You don't need to be a competitive programmer. You don't need to have experience building apps. You just need to demonstrate that you can think in code, break down a problem, structure a solution, and execute it. We're not looking for people who have mastered DSA. We're looking for people with the raw aptitude to become exceptional engineers. And why are we adding this? So code is what you'll actually do in real life. And if you can think in code, even at a basic level, you're already ahead of the 90% of engineering graduates out there. Now let me be honest with you. this test is hard, and it's deliberately hard. Because let me give you some real life numbers around this. In 2024, around 15,000 people had registered for Polaris. Only 155 got selected. In 2025, that number jumped to 50,000 registrations and just 330 selected. That's a selection rate of less than 1%. Now compare this to the top institutions across the globe, which have a selection rate of 5%. We are tighter. And we do this intentionally. So whenever I talk to students who have attempted PAT, the common feedback is, I wasn't expecting this. And that's by design. So see, most competitive exams have a pattern. You do enough previous years, you figure out the question types, you practice, and you're able to crack it. PAT doesn't work like that. We're not testing your ability to pattern match from past papers. We're testing your ability to face something unfamiliar and figure it out. That's what engineering is. And that's what building products is. That's what startups are also looking for, where you're constantly facing problems you've never seen before. And you need to have the mental toolkit to navigate through them. The people who clear PAT and eventually will graduate from Polaris, they're not just smart. They have this quality. I don't know how to describe it, but they have this ability to sit with ambiguity, break it down and solve it. That's what we're selecting for. Not your JE rank, not your board percentage. Your raw ability to think. We're not trying to fill seats. We're trying to find the right people. So a quick note on the eligibility. PAT is open to all PCM students who have scored a minimum 60% marks in class 12th from a recognized board. And here's something most people don't know. Even if you're in class 11th right now, you don't have to wait. If you perform well, you can secure your seat in advance, lock in your admission before the rush begins next year. But there's a hard reality. We only have 400 seats this year. That's it. And here's the thing about early applications. Students who apply early have a 3x higher chance of selection. So the more you wait, the harder it gets. PAT happens once every 2 weeks. You sign up on the website, book your slot, and you take the test. So this isn't a one-shot, one-chance exam. If you have a bad day, we understand. So the best time to take PAT is right now. PAT 2026 is live. Admissions are open. The link is in the description. Go ahead, register, prepare, and show us what you've got. We'll see you on the other side.